The last time that we played the USC Trojans, we were up 31-3 at halftime and lost that game in regulation with 31 points. We do get 81 defensive tackle Tenard Carpenter, which is outstanding. We also get 77 overall right tackle Sam Castillo. So a lot of help with the offensive and defensive line. We are now number 11 in the nation, getting ready to play number 2, undefeated, 5-0, conference rivals USC. Can't even call it a rivalry when we get our asses kicked every time we play them. In terms of how we're looking, Washington, we still got a big lead. Running back, a lead now for Horton. Big lead for Albert. Big lead for Henry. Steele's already ours. Cooper's ours. Good lead for Bradshaw. Still fighting like hell for Tariq Allen. Good lead now for Harrell after that visit. Gigantic lead for Butler. I do wonder about that 80 overall running back. Maybe the visit would have helped more than I thought. But then again, we might not look as good for these guys as we would have had we not gotten, or as we do now, had we not gotten rid of those guys. Darrell Myrick. Daryl. I'm calling you Daryl now. What about Carlton Scott? What about Marlon Jones? No. Struggling with the insta-commits. Except for 83 overall punter, Rodney Robinson. Very nice. Very evil. We got a couple of people who are ready to visit here. And it will be against USC, hosting them this time. Maybe home turf will be the difference. One can only hope after this, though. I mean, Penn State, Ohio State, still on the schedule. It's pretty rough. Just to double check here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14. All right, so we're only down to 10 dudes now. I think still that's what we were at before. 230 divided by 10, 625 points per person to try and seal the deal. That is the game plan. All right. Doing all I can to delay this game against USC because I am scared to death of what this game could look like. I totally miscounted the amount of points. That's a shame. How the hell did I miscount that amount of points? I must be doing the math wrong in terms of dividing by the amount of dudes, but... the last guy. Whatever, it's fine. He's up to 270. That's good enough. Let's get this shit show over with. The Trojans head up to Laramie. They're not as strong on paper as they used to be, but that defense could be real bad. That one kicker only had 5. Yeah, that was intentional. All right. 5 points. Oh, so that's what happened. I put him on 625 instead of staying at the 5. I got it. I got you now. Oh, I'm not fixing it, so fuck it. Gold ass pants. Bring me my brown pants. I have no choice but to wear gold pants. I guess we'll wear the white. Here we go. USC. Once again. God help me. God help me, God help me, God help me, because damn.
Hi,
damn.
Davis with you, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan.
This game will very much dictate, I think, how the rest of this season goes.
This intense college football matchup.
This is yeah, we won a coin toss. This is a weird one. This is a weird game to be prepared for. First quarter against the Trojans, they're up 7-0. 14-0. And threatening to score again. 17-0. 24-0. 31-0 at halftime. We are the imposters of the Superior Six. $38-0. It's over. It's over. 41-0. 44-0. 44-7. 51-7. The most lopsided loss this program's ever had. USC has handed us our outright worst loss, and now they have embarrassed us like nobody before. Grimes under 300 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks. Running game couldn't accomplish anything. Only got to the quarterback once, no interceptions. Our kicker missed the only attempt he had. USC stays undefeated. We get absolutely floored by what a legitimate contender actually looks like. Any hopes you may have had for some sort of national title appearance is gone. It's not just gone, it's dead, buried. I mean, brought back up, put into a deeper hole. Brought back up again and thrown into the ocean. Brought back out of the ocean and then fired into space. It will be a miracle if we survive relegation. We do land Horton, Bennett, Bradshaw, Washington. Recruitment still looks fantastic. We fall to number 16 in the nation as we hit our bye week, but yeah, we got clowned. That is the only way to put it. And right now, we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. We are the only team. Look at the fucking point differential for USC. We are the only team in the Superior 6 independent status with a negative point differential. I do not see how we don't get relegated here. That certainly looks like that's us done for. Someone else, like a Penn State, will have to miserably screw up the rest of their year, including losing to us. That Penn State game just became the biggest game of the season. Because if we don't beat them, we're cooked. No doubt about it. Still fighting like hell for some of these guys. Big question is, do we go? I mean, we got 12 people left with 13 scholarships. There's really no point in looking for anybody else right now, so we might as well just round out the board and max points for the highest rated dudes that are not currently on max points. Penn State, week 9. This game could very well dictate who gets relegated between the two of us. After getting absolutely shit on by USC, It feels like our hopes are hanging in the balance here. You're a recruit. How can you see that and say, yeah, I want to play for that team? I want to play for a team that's been flirting with a national title spot for years but can't make it. We do land the 84 kicker Marlon Jones, as well as 2 78s, one at corner and one at linebacker, and a safety, Carlton Scott. Recruitment does continue to be fantastic. But, I mean, this is just such a massive, massive game. So we still got one quarterback left that we're looking at. We got 2 wideouts left. I guess this situation I'm intrigued by is kicker and punter. We landed all 3 of our targets there. That's okay. Let's get Gary Henry, also known as Harry, scheduled for this visit. Who do we have left? Hamilton on 5. Go on 5. Most of these guys will just be able to go on 5 points here. Massively behind for Tariq Allen after his visit to LSU. All I can do is put a scholarship offer in now and hope that saves it. But we're likely not going to end up with him. We also lost out on corner Caleb Black to Auburn. Notice that. All right. So we're pretty much at the point where everyone's going to be able to be... Yeah, I can just sort by rank because everyone's going to be able to be maxed out on points. With points left over. We should see if there's one dude left. Because, yeah, it's 9 scholarships. Actually, 2 dudes left. 9 scholarships, 7 guys left. In terms of interest, though, it gets to be a little bit tough. I should look by position and positions of need, which is now nothing. So actually we can just get whoever the hell's the best. Son of a bitch. If I use the search function, interest in Wyoming, any interest, we'll go top 10 schools. As a deal breaker, no. Percentage locked, less than 50. We'll search that. Apparently it says I need a tight end and a fullback, but... Alright, so this is anybody that has us in their top 10. Jonathan Patrick absolutely sucks. Do you have any wideouts? I know I need a fullback and a tight end, but I'm just going to have to move somebody. Chad Walter's still out there. 73 overall. He's not bad. Anybody else out there? One other dude, otherwise we might as well just look for a shit fullback or a shit tight end. That's what it's looking like is going to happen. There is actually an athlete as well, Maurice Woodard, so those 2 would be perfect. Back to the board. And again, like, team needs 0, but that just might mean that there's 0 players there. Yeah, we do still need a fullback and a tight end, but whatever. So for the final 2 dudes, Walter, we're way behind. Just try to catch up. Woodard, same thing. Just try to catch up with the scholarships. Try to lock those 2 guys down, and we'll figure out team needs later. I mean, let's be honest, they're not the most important positions. Penn State. Massively important game for us. It feels like if we're going to advance or stay in this division, we need to finish above Penn State and A&M. We do not play A&M this year. They have Arkansas, an FCS team, Coastal, and Mizzou left. We do play Ohio State as well. They play UCF, Colorado, Wake Forest, and Michigan. We need to win out, basically. A single loss at this stage likely spells doom for the Cowboys. Will we be relegated? To my recollection, we have never been relegated. We've been held in divisions before, including last year, but we have never been relegated, and I'm hoping that this season won't be the first. Even if we are relegated again, I mean, we can still win the national title and say I'm happy. We could still say we made Div 1 and I'm happy, but it'd be something to win the national title while in Div 1. That's like the ultimate goal. Back to the same turf that USC embarrassed us on. What version of the Cowboys will show up today? 7-0 Penn State. 7-7. By the way, Army number 2 in the nation right now. 14 all. 21-14. 21 all at halftime. 28-21. 35-21. 41-21. Penn State. The second half, they have just absolutely taken over. 21 unanswered points, 458 yards to our just about 300. We need a miracle here.
Now he tries to buy some time. Fires it quickly. He's taken down at the 46.
Catch by Chaps. I'm going to try to complete the comeback because it is a massively important game. But it's unlikely. Even though our quarterback has 3 passing touchdowns today, our defense has not been able to make a stop in the second half. That's picked. It should have been. I tried to bomb it to the sideline. You just can't direct passes in that way on this game, and I'm lucky it wasn't picked.
He's going to have a better year this year than he even had last year.
He's scrambling. Tries to get
Better to scramble than the throw. There were a couple of options, but keep possession. Then again, maybe now is the right time to risk it, but
from the 36-yard line. First down.
it's our 14th first down of the game. We're not getting like heavily outmatched in the first down count, but
He scrambled. He's got the corner. Big opening.
had to scramble again.
Right around the
There was a guy down the middle of the field. He just couldn't get separation from the safety. Run and play action, and hopefully they heavily bite for it one of these times.
He's in trouble. Fires it out.
Failure to block downfield stops us from getting the touchdown. Had he held that block, we would have had it. I mean, we get a touchdown here. We're only down by 14 heading into the 4th. That's not insurmountable.
Don't mean anything unless you win the ball game.
And Nicole Bach into the end zone. Not bad. We have a little bit of life. It was a good drive for us, especially because it wasn't picked when it could have been. We have a little bit of life here to hold on to hope for this season. Army beats Florida State. That doesn't really affect us at all. We need to hope for like Ohio State losses, USC, Texas A&M. It's all about inter-conference losses now.
And they can forget about returning this one. The Cowboys staff has got a winner. You've been around kids like this. They're just fun to
Jesus
be
Christ, second half, just 7 attempted passes. We need to come up with some stops on defense. I mean, if they, honestly, if they score at all, that's probably it.
And he's tackled after positive yardage.
Weird tackle, but
Second down, and they're going to need about 3 yards.
see if they run another play in this quarter. They'd be wise not to.
Zipped it out, and that
I was gonna say yeehaw.
2 touchdowns.
You cannot, in this circumstance, drop that football. Oh my God. The easiest interception. I guess we're even now in terms of dropped picks. Oh my God. Right in the goddamn hands. Unfortunately, the hands of stone. It's 3rd and 3. We absolutely need a stop here.
Welcome back to the action here as we resume play here in quarter number 4.
Like I said, I mean, we're even in terms of dropped picks, but damn.
Now he's scrambling.
Get him. Get him. Yes. Good job, defense. Good job, defense. We have a little bit of hope.
That's all they could ask for.
We still have a little bit of hope. Dropped interception or not.
They've got 10 guys up. They're coming out.
This would be our biggest bailout in a long time. Still got a long way to go.
He makes it out to
Jesus, that guy was fast.
Wyoming's been doing
Thought we could beat him to the edge. He just wasn't giving up.
long, and not today. That's not what we've been expecting.
This has been a shocker. These guys have had their way with almost every defense all year long. You come in expecting the same thing, and they lay an egg. Well, I didn't
Find it interesting. It's suggesting Hail Marys, for God's sakes.
Possession's giving them some confidence, but let's see if that carries them back down the field. He's going to try and scramble. Runs with it, and he's got room. He goes out of
I
bounds.
had a couple of options, but there was nobody that I'm like, this is a guaranteed catch with. So, when in doubt, just get some yardage and run it out. Michigan is losing to Troy. Holy shit. That would be unbelievable for us.
He's at the 40.
Great catch by Wild Bull Buchanan.
That's the beauty of running
Chat, try to keep an eye out on the ticker for me. We need Michigan to lose. We also need Oregon to beat Texas Tech desperately.
The defender's looking right at the quarterback. That's why that play action worked so well for a first down. They weren't sure.
Right, that didn't work as well as I wanted it to,
If anything on that
but it should set up more play action options.
to go. Ball on the 36.
Wide open, the fullback, Surfer Sting.
At the 4-yard line.
32 yards for the senior fullback. Monstrous play for us, absolutely monstrous.
Tie this game up.
Down around the 4-yard.
Should have held it. Oh shit, you're right, it was Tech, not A&M. My brain's just scrambled again. I'm panicking.
Second down and goal.
I think it was A&M, not Tech, right?
Touchdown, Cowboys.
Another big score, the jet sweep. We have a bit of life here. Michigan loss confirmed.
He makes the BAT. A nice six
Okay.
play. 54
We just got to win. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. We have to win.
is lining up to kick this one off.
31-24 final. Okay.
Drills this one.
They'd still be getting a little bit of help if we just do our damn jobs and win.
Competitive game. It's fun to watch these two teams go back.
Having to come back from 21 down towards the end of the third isn't ideal, but
right back into it. This is exciting.
might be able to pull it off here.
But they might as well be. It's this drive that could really dictate.
Again, we're playing for our damn lives at this point. Let's go, boys. Good job. Looking on Reddit side, people on a post discussing a potential playoff overtime rule change. 7 normal 20-minute period of overtime, one straight sudden death overtime amount of time. What are your thoughts? I think you got to give people time to rest.
Second and 11.
I think the primary reason why they don't do that is, I mean, commercial times as well. Because you don't get commercials, commercial breaks really in overtime. It didn't switch players. I got called for that. I hit B and it didn't switch players. That sucks. Yeah, I got called. I mean, would it be a nice change? A little bit, yeah. But at the same time, I don't think that'll ever happen.
To the offense.
Penalties
For hockey playoffs, that is.
chances to win if they commit too many.
All right, 2nd and 6. I mean, that's okay.
29-yard line. It's second down.
No way! I thought I was in that lane enough to hit Y and go for the interception, and it just didn't give it to me. It didn't lock me on. We cannot let them get any points or it's over. We have to deliver here. Worried about that. Let's go, boys. Good stop.
That is exactly the type of
They get a first down. They're probably in field goal range, so
And if you can make enough of them in college, probably going to get a chance to play at the next
no
level.
A&M game. Noted.
So it's second and 10. Ball on the 39.
Go, boys.
Taken down.
That works. One more stop, gentlemen. One more stop here. Come on.
Well, this is a tough situation. They'll try to defend 5 receivers with a goal line defense.
And our fucking corner got beat. That's it. That's it. Our corner got beat on the press. Unless there's a turnover, we're probably cooked.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Out the trippy stick for the fall. Yeah, they're in time wasting mode too. So close, but so far. This loss to Penn State probably condemns us to relegation.
He gets rid of this one.
Field goal's good. 5 touchdown passes for their QB in this game too, which is just nuts.
They're at the 7. Second down. Got to be careful of a pass play with this defense. Pressure.
Drop an S. Good job. Good job. I mean, hey, the worst case scenario is a touchdown. I mean, a field goal.
Play is number 8 on the drive.
I mean, in theory, we'd be in a situation where it's not insurmountable.
Tries to get around the corner. He makes it to the 6-yard line.
We'll take that. I can't use a timeout here, though. Can't do it. We have to keep it.
This isn't much more than an extra point.
Yeah, they are going to waste time. Controller down so I don't jump. We'll leave it up to chance. So we'll need either a quick field goal or touchdown, preferably the touchdown. Onside kick's a little bit risky, but maybe use our timeouts, get the ball back with no timeouts left.
Kicks away, and the field goal is good. Reese
Okay.
standing by with this update. Reese.
There it is. Michigan loses to Troy.
Came into the game ranked 3rd. That's not
Could really go for one of my patented kick returns right about now. We're going to go for it.
I'm just
That's
trying to
old
walk
man. I
through
didn't
this
see the
fucking
last
grass.
part of it, but thank you for the follow. And we ran into our own guy who put on the brakes. Right in front of us, he just stopped running and blocked me. That's a shame. All right, miracle time.
And you know about his ability to make the decisions, but you have to have the arm. And this guy has one of the strongest arms in college football.
Just nowhere to go. But that was my only way to stop the clock.
From their own 18-yard line.
Oh, we need a miracle. Someone's got to win a matchup here.
He's on the run. Aaron and out long. Incomplete. Almost picked off.
I genuinely cannot believe how fast people in the secondary are to react. Look at this guy. He is all over that receiver. Oh, my God. He played them both perfect. And right there when I throw, he looked back and just yoink and nearly picked it off. I cannot believe the awareness of some of the people in the secondary. It's just absurd.
On their own 18. He heaves it deep.
Big catch for Chaps. We cannot afford to call a timeout, though. It's the one downside is we had to go over the middle of the field. We can't use these timeouts. We don't want to be dependent solely on an onside kick. We got him again. Picked. Game over. The fucking awareness and the reaction time of the secondary is nuts.
But not making that interception.
They never get tunnel vision solely on their coverage. Shit. Gotta get rid of it.
This one away. The defense got some.
They're not leaving anything open now. We're not in field goal range yet.
Aggressive here with their pass rush, and that time it paid off with an incompletion.
Defensive coordinator anticipating this 5-wide set, and he comes in with his dime package. He's rolling right. We got a change at the quarterback position. Gotta wonder how that's going.
And from the sounds of it, our quarterback just got hurt.
The head coach are just going to try to ease him into this game at the.
Nope, he's back in still. Okay.
It's 4th down, and the offense is getting set to go for it. Now he tries to buy some time.
That's the game.
The first down, and the ball will change hands.
That's the game right there. We just couldn't do it.
Well, Well, the last drive was good for
21-point deficit was too much.
Under a minute left.
We're getting very close to menu sim territory for the rest of the season because it's starting to just not matter.
They'll bring him down at the 49. 2-yard carry by the fullback.
That's a heartbreaker.
Time out of the half here.
We needed to win this game, but
It's 2nd down and 8.
unfortunately our talent level just dropped off too much.
Hands it off. The Cowboys call a timeout. That's their 2nd of the half.
Now we're dependent on an onside kick, and I've never had a successful onside kick in this game. Not once. And it's not going to matter. That ends it.
And he tackles him hard.
Penn State wins. And we are going to be demoted.
Team with a tough loss there, but the way their star played today, I think they can maybe build on that.
Barring an absolute miracle, that is GG's on our time in the top tier.
But when you have a great performance by your star player and you're trying to build for the future, they really need to
Man, that
focus on
sucks.
his performance and try to build this team around his
That
ability.
sucks. That sucks. Stats don't really matter at this point. We fall to 3-4. Like I said, we might have to. We might just have to start menu simming. I don't really see how we get out of this situation right now. Week 10, we draw South Alabama. Game you'd certainly hope we could win. At least we weren't embarrassed by Penn State like we were by USC. But if I'm not mistaken, we still have Ohio State coming up on the schedule too, which is just... That's just taking the... it's just kicking a dead horse at that point. I mean, Christ. We do get the 80 overall quarterback, Kevin Washington, amongst others. Another great defensive tackle and wideout, a good safety as well. As for the first time this year, we fall out of the top 25. Again, South Bama. Coming up. Ohio State lost their last game as well. But yeah, we are currently 2 games back of 3 teams, A&M, Penn State, and Ohio State, with a loss to Penn State, meaning we're fucked. That's what it means. That is pretty much what it means. I mean, other teams would just have to collapse for us to have any possible chance. I just don't see it. Not with the talent level that's within this conference. 5 players left. 5 scholarships left, although Tariq Allen is very unlikely, but we will stay with him until the bitter end. Those are the final 5 targets. Pretty much all we can do. We're going to menu sim this game against South Bama. They're actually not that bad at this stage, so, I mean, if we lose this game, it's certainly over. We lose 39-22. We're going to menu sim the rest of the season. Wyoming's going to get relegated for the very first time. But we got punked out by South Alabama through the menu sim. We finally hit our ceiling, and it was being able to survive in the top tier for 1 year, but beyond that, it's just not there. We do land Hamilton and Elbert. Now down to 3-5. This could be our first ever sub 500 season. I talked about it. We've never had one. This could be it. We're going to menu sim against Ohio State. Probably the most dominant program in this timeline. We lose 38-28 to fall to 3-6. You think they were due for a season like that? Probably. I mean, we've been defying the odds for quite a while. It doesn't mean that it's not heartbreaking, though. Because, damn. To see that we're closer to Tier 2 than we are to winning Tier 1 in a national title is always going to be disappointing. Temple, up next. It's my favorite franchise Dynasty I've ever done. Promotion relegation's fun. It's fun when you're getting promoted. I don't know how fun it is getting relegated. We're about to find out, though. We are about to find out. I've certainly had fun with this. I still don't really want to stop. I don't know if I will. I don't think I will. Temple's another decent team. I mean, let's see what happens. Well, we beat Temple. I don't even remember the last game that we won, to be honest, so that's a good sign. 35-21 over Temple. If we beat... well, we got to beat Vanderbilt, and I forget who we play at the end of the season to finish at 500. Remember when we made it easy by choosing Temple over... yeah, right? Yeah. Well, you know. Oh, Tariq Allen has gone to LSU, so we have missed out. Oregon State, you're right. Yeah, we have to beat the two of them to avoid finishing under 500. We don't land Tariq Allen. Walter, Woodard. And then I just might as well see fullbacks and tight ends that might still be available and eligible for us. Which is nobody because Kraft won't come here. Do we have any tight ends here that we can fight for? Even if they're not good, we just need them to take up spots on the roster, pretty much. So we'll scout those guys out. I mean, obviously, they would fit the need. You could argue of taking Woodard out, but let's see. Cole Hill, up by 7. Peter Evans, we already had scouted. Larry Smith, a bit of a gem. Got O'Neal, and then Chad Bray, we already had scouted. We got to go all in on these two guys in particular. Honestly, all of them. I mean, see what happens. We had, what, 3 scholarships left? Yeah. So we can go for the 2 that are still left. Vanderbilt, this should be a win. Should be a win. But knowing this season, don't hold your breath. We win 38-21. So Oregon State, final game of the season to try and avoid finishing with a sub 500 record. But relegation is a certainty. There's really no shame in getting relegated. I mean, you think about it. Penn State, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, even once upon a time were relegated. I mean, it's happened to pretty much everybody. So there's no shame in it. It's a very tough division to stay in for year after year. 1 scholarship left, let's be honest. Well, Peter Evans we're pretty much screwed for, but we'll keep fighting for him. We're definitely screwed for Cole Hill, but send a scholarship offer to him. Larry Smith is really that top target. So we'll see what happens there with our final scholarship. It is the final game of the year against Oregon State. They're not bad. We are better in theory, but they're not bad. And obviously this is our final game of the year. If we beat Penn State and we're at 6-5 like they were, there was a chance. There was a chance out. Michigan losing 4 games, like there was a real chance for us to see this through and survive, but too many losses. And then we lose by a field goal to Oregon State. Anyway, never mind. We never had a chance. 5-7, the first ever losing season in our tenure with the Wyoming Cowboys. With a better team than last year and arguably an easier schedule. 5-7, and I really can't help but think what we were truly screwed by. The fucking coordinators just being trash. At the very least, it does not help.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Got the 5-star run, Julian, by the way, for the follow. We don't get an insta-commit for Larry Smith. I'm not going to try to insta-commit the other 2 until we know what happens with Smith. Again, he's obviously our top target. But We still got one more week to sim before we find out who's been promoted, who's been relegated, aside from us, because that's already the case. This will also be the first year we don't have a bowl game either. That's just so heartbreaking. Like, we have taken a massive step backwards. And again, it's going to be so tough. We got less control over our schedule next year, too. It's going to be so tough. That ACC is a minefield. But to confirm, 5-7. 3 out of the last 5 years, we haven't won a bowl game or a conference title. But we have never finished under 500 in now 22 years at Wyoming. Never once have we fallen this low. Until now. It is confirmed that ourselves and Penn State have been relegated. Michigan finishing at 7-5. We could have stayed. We could have stayed. Did it list us at low security? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think we can technically get sacked. I think I turned firing off. I don't remember though. But yeah, it is confirmed that we have been relegated. Penn State, who just came up this year, are right back down. So look at the bottom tier. In tier 11, the Sunbelt Northwestern have been promoted after 1 year in the bottom tier. And on the other side, Western Kentucky. So the two teams that dropped to tier 11 last year are right back up. Technically, the worst team in college football right now is El Paso. In tier 10, the SEC, Texas State have been promoted. Big shout out to Rudy, by the way. Driving around downtown Laramie begging for tech, basically. Rudy, thank you for the 27 months, by the way. I hope you've been well. And yeah, this has been rough. If you guys haven't followed Rudy, by the way, and you're a racing fan, best place to go, particularly for iRacing content. Georgia Southern have been relegated, while Southern Miss have also been promoted, and Washington State have been relegated. Hope your Memorial Day weekend was a good one. My wife has a cold, so we didn't do anything. So, you know, chill days at home, which is also okay. In the Pac-12, Boise State finally back up. Boise State have been promoted, while Vanderbilt have been relegated. Coastal Carolina have also been relegated, while the Purdue Boilermakers have been promoted. She's getting towards the tail end of the cold, but it's just in time. She had a 4-day weekend and was sick for all of it. Goes back to work in the morning. So, yeah, we haven't had much luck in the illness front this year. The two of us. Mountain West, Northern Illinois have been promoted, while Ohio have been relegated. 7, 2, and 3. So Ohio will be the first to be relegated. Boston College going back up, while the Green Wave of Tulane, unfortunately, have been relegated. Have you tried not getting sick? Not hard enough, apparently. Not hard enough. In the MAC, Arizona State, one of the longest serving teams there, have been promoted, while BYU, rough times, they have been relegated. As have Houston. Meanwhile, Wake Forest have been promoted. We go to Tier 6, Conference USA. The South Carolina Gamecocks are on their way up, while Duke have been relegated. Let's see here. Technically, it's going to come down to point differential. 374 minus 287. It's 87 under. And a 109 difference. So it will be James Madison relegated first, Duke in second, and Colorado for one season in the division promoted alongside South Carolina. Tier 5, the Big Ten, Hawaii on their way up, while Oklahoma State, the longest serving team of the Big Ten, have been relegated. Oh man, both of them. Again, coming down to point differential to describe the current scenario. So 144 under. And, oh my god. Well, we know this one's big, but yeah. So it will be Oklahoma State, primary relegation. Ole Miss have also been relegated, while Pittsburgh spent just one season in the Big Ten before being promoted. Army, by the way, what a collapse from number 2 in the country down to number 24. In the Big Four, the Big Four division, the Big 12, Louisville have been promoted, while last year's national champions, Arizona, have been relegated. That's insane. 3-6, 2-3. Oh my god, that's going to come down to fucking point differential again. Jesus. So literally it's a +1 for Arizona. So Arizona is relegated 2, while Clemson have been relegated. Wisconsin are going up. So Wisconsin, Louisville up, Arizona, Clemson down. Bama stays in Tier 4 for like the 6th year in a row. Tier 3, Utah have been promoted, while Virginia Tech have been relegated. Meanwhile, Navy have been promoted, with Miami, the longest serving Tier 3 team, being relegated. And then Tier 2, Mizzou on the way up. Missouri have been promoted, while UCLA have been relegated after an abysmal season. Notre Dame promoted back to the Superior 6, while Arkansas have also been relegated. And of course, Wyoming and Penn State down from the Superior 6. A devastatingly poor season for us. We do have to sim through Conference Championship Week, and again, it is the very first time that we have not made it to a bowl game. This is our lowest point since we originally took over this team. Devastating. In a lot of ways, we still got to see the conference championships. Heisman goes to LSU's junior quarterback, Eric Richardson. Fair enough. No award winners for us this year either, which really isn't surprising. National title, Ohio State, Florida State. Wow. Good for Florida State, man. They've bounced back well. Well, let's find out those conference winners. You have Arizona State winning the MAC. You have Louisville winning the Big 12 in Tier number 4. Western Kentucky win the Tier 11 Sun Belt. Colorado win Tier 6 Conference USA. Tier 10, Texas State, champions of the SEC. Navy wins Tier 3 over Utah. So we'll see who ends up, of course, in what division. Boston College dominate to win the Tier 8 Mountain West. Northern Illinois did not show up. Missouri win the ACC Tier 2 over Notre Dame. Purdue win the Pac-12, RIP. Purdue win the Pac-12 over Boise State. And Hawaii win the Big Ten over Pittsburgh. So we have our confirmations. Oh, goodness. Well, look at the season that was for us. It should be noted, championship contenders, our outlook is still incredibly strong. We fell to being number 75 in the nation. Yet look at our outlook for the next 3 years. We underperformed to death this season. We haven't seen by the way, Oklahoma State, worst team in the country apparently. We haven't been this far down the pole in a long time. Like we're ranked 1 spot below Kentucky. They are a tier 10 team. We were a tier 1 team this year. That is horrific. That is horrific. Like there's just no promising outlook for this season. It's just horrific, man. That's the only way to describe it. Space Cowboy, just under 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 picks. That actually wasn't that bad. He'll be a senior next year. Rushing-wise, 700 yards for Nicole Bach with 9 touchdowns. Didn't really do too much else rushing-wise outside of Bach as a senior. Receptions-wise, 65 for Cowboy Bob, but over 1,000 yards for Can I Pass to Frank. 10 touchdowns for Bob, both these two juniors, so we'll have them for next year. Blocking-wise, 8 sacks allowed by Wayne Kerr. That is unfortunate. Tackles for loss, 16 for Swift kicking the Nads. 6 sacks for Karen Rogers, who will hopefully be back for their senior year next year. Oh no, Aaron, I used a pronoun. I said there instead of his, him. 3 interceptions for Frau Blucher as a senior. Our kicker. $15 of 26. Have fun selling car insurance. Holy God. Oh my God.